In this video, I want to have a look at something called PAYG Tax. So PAYG stands for Pay As You Go. The idea behind it is that rather than people getting to the end of the financial year and having to pay the government thousands of dollars in taxes all in one go, rather than doing that, tax is going to come out of your paycheck every single time you get paid before it gets to you. So you don't even really notice that it's going. So your employer will deduct a certain amount of tax, depending on how much they're paying you, every time, so that you're paying lots of little installments of tax rather than the whole amount all at once. So the total amount that you pay in tax over the year, with those little bits that are coming out every time, isn't always accurate when you get to the end of the year. So the way it works is they're going to look at your payslip and they're going to say, okay, if you get paid this much every week or every fortnight, every pay for the whole year, you're going to end up over the whole year earning this much money. And then they look at that and determine how much they should be taking out. But especially if you're not working a regular set amount every single week, so if your income isn't the same every time you get paid, so if you have a casual job, for example, when you work over Christmas, you're going to get paid more money. If that's the case, your tax doesn't always come out to be accurate at the end of the year. So when you get to the end of the financial year and you complete a tax return, what they do is the ATO, the Australian Tax Office, is going to compare the amount you've paid in PAYG tax compared to how much you should be paying in tax and figure out what the difference is. So if you've ended up paying more than you should have, you're going to get a tax return or a tax refund. If you paid less than you should have, then you're going to owe the government some more money, and that's going to be a tax debt. So the way PAYG tax is calculated is from tables. So on the ATO website, you can download tax tables that are based on whether you get paid either weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. And you can have a look and you can say, okay, if my payslip is this amount of money, then this certain amount of tax should be coming out of it. So let's have a look at what they look like. So here I've got all three PDF versions. So again, you have weekly, fortnightly, or monthly that you can look at. For now, let's just go with fortnightly. So let's have a look at this guy. So what this table tells us is you can have a look and you can say your fortnightly earnings and you can find how much you're getting in that fortnight, and it's going to tell you how much tax you need to be paying. Now, there's two columns here. The difference is this is with the tax-free threshold and this is without. So the tax-free threshold is the $18,200 that we talked about, how everyone gets their first $18,200 tax-free. So if you only have one job, then you're going to be looking at this with the tax-free threshold column, because you're not going to be charged tax until you get over that $18,200 limit. If you had, for example, if you have two jobs, then you can only claim that tax-free threshold on one of your jobs. So usually you claim it on the one that you're getting the most income from. And the other job, you're going to start paying tax right from the very beginning. So if we have a look down our column, you can see that with the tax-free threshold column stays blank. So you're not paying any tax until you're earning $714 per fortnight. So that would be equivalent to your $18,200 per annum. And then we start paying tax here. So you can go down, you can look at your pay slip and figure out how much money you're getting paid. So say you were getting paid $1,506 per fortnight, then you can say, okay, well, I should be paying $194 in tax. So if this is my taxable income, then this is how much should be coming out towards tax before it even hits my bank account. So what we're going to look at today is a simplified version of those tables. So in your textbook, you're given tables like this. So this is telling us our weekly earnings and the tax that's going to be withheld. So a little bit more basic rather than looking at the real life ones. So our example says employees use a PAYG tax table to determine how much tax to deduct from their employees' pays. Part of this table is shown here. During his uni holidays, Lee worked in a factory outlet store and earned $196 per week for 8 weeks. Part A asks us to calculate his gross income for the 8 weeks. So his gross income is going to be that $196 per week for 8 weeks. So we're going to multiply that by 8. So his gross income would be $1,568 in total over those 8 weeks. Part B asks us how much tax was deducted over that whole 8 weeks. So each week he's earning $196. So if we look at our table, that's going to fall into this row here between 193 and 197, which means that each week they're going to be withholding $42 tax. So that's $42 per week for 8 weeks, which would give us a total of $336 tax in total paid over those 8 weeks. So that's having a look at PAYG tax.